Coming up on FRC Recap, week one of the Charged Up season is complete with 28 events that our correspondents from all around the world will join us to cover and break down. We also have a giveaway for our live audience from Robotics. Plus, if you're watching live, News Team will provide our week two preview of some awesome events that you should keep an eye out for. Get ready for FRC Recap.
This video on First Updates Now is made possible by viewers like you and also the following sponsors. Kettering University is looking for talented robotics students who want to continue learning and innovating in a hands-on, real-world experience format. Kettering University representatives will be at dozens of FIRST events this season, including the championship. Go to Kettering.edu/FIRST to see which events you can meet a Kettering University representative. FRC competition season is here. Submit your favorite moments to FRC Clips of the Week by each Sunday at discord.gg/firstupdatesnow. Also, the FRC Top 25 poll is open Sunday 5 p.m. Eastern to Monday 5 p.m. Eastern, where you can vote for your top 25 teams of the week at firstupdatesnow.com/FRC Top 25.
Welcome to FRC Recap for week one. I'm your host, Steve Londo. This week, Fun Correspondents will provide recaps of our 20 events broken down into 8 regions. We have correspondents from around the globe covering all around, including the US, Canada, Mexico, Israel, and more. So please stay tuned. And if you're watching live, we do have a giveaway from Robotics coming up very, very soon. So our first region of tonight is our northeastern region, covering the U.S. Northeast. With 3 events to cover, let's bring on senior correspondent Connor to talk about the New England District, from the New England District, to talk about both the New England Granite State and the New England Southeast Mass District events. I'm glad to be back for another season of FRC Recap. I'm glad to see you again, my friend. Welcome, Connor. How's things going?
Things are looking very, very well, Steve. Good evening and welcome to the 2023 Nor'easter Region Recap. Our first event starts way up north at the Pine Tree District event. Oh, wait, no, that event didn't happen. I forgot. The Granite State District event. What a weird event that was, right? A nor'easter came through Friday night, dumping over a foot of snow. Unfortunately, this event was reduced to 1 day, but the competition still lived up to the hype. This event featured 39 teams from 4 states. After 52 qualification matches, it was Team 3467, Wyndham Windup, who would seed first, going undefeated through quals 7-0-1. They would select 7th-ranked Team 5687, the Outliers, and round off their alliance with one of the biggest sleeper picks, in my opinion, 31st ranked team 8023 LRTC Androscoggin Argonauts. Our heroes would breeze easily through the upper bracket and find themselves in the finals against the number 7 seed of 238 Crusaders, 8724 Mayhem, and 1073 the Force Team. The finals were full of excitement, but ultimately the number 1 seed would win in 2 matches, 146-106 and 143-106. Something to note here, folks. This is 3467 Silver's only streak from last year has now been broken, so be on the lookout. They're coming for everyone, and they are hungry for more gold. This is also their first regular season event win since 2014, nearly an entire decade, which is really hard to believe considering how strong they have been for the past few years. Oh, and also they went undefeated the entire event. Lastly, congratulations to 8708 Overly Complex for their first Engineering Inspiration Award, and to 1073 the Force Team for that silver and gold clang blang event finalist and Impact Award. Shifting gears, we drive down toward the Cape and we find ourselves at the Southeast Mass SEMA District event. This event featured something New England hasn't seen in quite some time. 30 teams from 5 New England states and 1 from New Jersey, 3314 Mechanical Mustangs. After 60 qualification matches, it was 1768 Neshoba Robotics, seeding first with a record of 9-1-2. Yeah, that's right. They had 2 ties, which is very odd for one team to have more than 1 tie in an event. They would select second-ranked team 125 Neutrons and round off the alliance with 20th ranked team 2262 Robo Panthers. Things started off well, but started to fall apart after some unfortunate breaks and disconnects, which ultimately eliminated the number 1 seed in round 3. The finals, it would be the number 2 seed of 7407 Wired Boars, 78 Airstrike, and 9055 Knights of Katahdin versus the number 3 seed of 3314 Mechanical Mustangs, 88 TJ Squared, and 4473 Delta Prime. Holy guacamole, were these finals matches intense. Finals 1 ended in a tie, 109 all. Finals 2 was won by the number 3 seed, 131 to 89, while Finals 3 was won by the number 2 seed of 126 to 75, bringing us to overtime 1. It was a close match until 78 disconnected with 70 seconds left, allowing the number 3 seed to secure the match and win the event. Congratulations to Team 2713 Red Hawk Robotics for winning their first ever Engineering Inspiration Award, and to 61 the Intimidators for winning Impact Award. Steve, back to you, my friend.
Thanks, Connor. Rounding out the Northeastern region is Otto, who's covering the FMA District Hatboro-Horsham event. Hey, Otto, how do things shake out this weekend up there?
At the first Mid-Atlantic Hatboro-Horsham event, there were 34 teams. Notable teams include 5895, Petty Robotics. They were winners of the first Mid-Atlantic District Championships last year, and they're looking to continue that streak this year with an already imposing robot. 2539, the Krypton Cougars. They were Einstein finalists last year, and they're keeping up their trend of highly impressive driving and design. And last but not least, 1391, the Metal Moose. I might be biased, as this is my team, but their playoffs run is quite a story. Finishing in 17th place with a 4-7-1 record, things didn't look too good for 1391 heading into Alliance selection. However, they were the first pick of the 5th seed, Team 25 Raider Robotics. After a 132 to 117 victory over the 4th Alliance, things were suddenly looking very good. They fell to the lower bracket after facing the 1st Alliance, which was comprised of the aforementioned Krypton Cougars and Petty Robotics, as well as Team 433, the Firebirds. In the lower bracket, they faced every seed above them, moving past them one by one and making it to the final, a rematch against the 1st Alliance. Despite their eventual loss in the final, 1391 and their alliance had a fighting chance with a Game 1 3-point difference win. That win was decided by 1391's Autonomous, which exited the community before engaging the charging station, gaining 3 additional mobility points. They also won the Autonomous Award prior to that match. Krypton Cougar's robot features 2 game piece manipulators, one of which allows them to specialize in hybrid node cubes. These manipulators are located on opposite sides of their robot, so they put their swerve drive to good use as they score. Petty Robotics' robot features a well-designed arm that is highly stable even at high speeds, enabling them to begin extending it sooner, getting into their scoring position faster. Additionally, their arm swings all the way over their robot, but does not need to be fully deployed for hybrid nodes or middle-level cubenoids, enabling them to cycle faster and score more game pieces. Finals 1 had a score of 131 to 134. Finals 2 had a score of 163 to 108. And Finals 3 had a score of 153 to 142. The Engineering Inspiration Award was won by Team 1640, Sabotage, and the Impact Award was won by Team 2590, Nemesis.
Thanks, Otto. Our next region of the night is our SEweet, the Southeast region, where Griffin's bringing us the action from the CHS District Blacksburg, Virginia event. Griffin, good to see you again. Bring us up to date on the happenings from the Blacksburg, Virginia event.
All right, so 2023 started off with a bang in Chesapeake at the Blacksburg event. While some teams were still working out the jitters of their first event, others soared to roaring heights, resulting in a high score of 174 in match 55. After 68 qualification matches, the reigning district champ 2363 Triple Helix sat at the number 1 seed to no one's surprise. They quickly picked up event host 401 Copperhead Robotics and rounded out their alliance with 1915 MTHS Firebird Robotics. Round 1 was a swift defeat of the 8th Alliance, But round 2 was the round that changed everything. Against the number 5 seed of 5724 Spartan Robotics, 422 MechTech Dragons, and 3939 Botatot 4H Robotics, 2063 rushed off the charge station in auto and ended up tipping over, being down for the match and giving the win to the number 5 seed. Now in the lower bracket, the number 1 seed had to work even harder to get back to the top, and started by calling up a backup bot in 3373 Team Robohawk, whose thinner frame allowed the Alliance to pull off a consistent triple balance. They took out the number 3 seed in round 3 with a score of 134 to 96, and then beat the number 6 seed in round 4 with a score of 136 to 72. Round 5 saw a redemption match for the number 1 seed, where they won over the number 5 seed with a score of 123 to 94, sending them to the finals. In the finals, they face off against the number 2 seed of 1629 Garrett Coalition, 1731 Preston Valley Robotics, and 1086 Blue Cheese. While the number 2 seed put up an aggressive defense, they weren't able to slow down 2363 and 401, resulting in a win for the number 1 seed. Congratulations to the number 1 seed for the win, with this being the first blue banner for both 1915 and 3373. Also, congratulations to 9235 Thunderbolts on Rookie All-Star, 1629 Garrett Coalition on EI for that double silver cling bling, and 1086 Blue Cheese on Impact for that gold silver cling bling.
Thanks, Griffin. Staying in the SEweet Southeast region, we've got Evan here to fill us in on what took place out in the FNC district at the UNC Asheville event. Evan, how was the event out in Asheville?
It was great. Thanks, Steve. The UNC Asheville event has always been one of the most competitive events in North Carolina, and this year was no exception. There were 29 teams in attendance here, and some of the notable teams are 4795, the eSpots, Team 4561, the Terabytes, Team 3506, Yeti Robotics, Team 587, the Hedgehogs, Team 8429 Valence Robotics, and Team 7890 Sequence. The high score of the competition was 122 in Qual 46, with a close second in Qual 39. We actually had a world first in Qual 39 with a double balance during autonomous, and no, this was not planned and just random chance. The number 1 alliance included Team 4795, 587, and Team 8833 Buzz City. They stayed in the upper bracket all the way to finals. The finalists' alliance path was much more interesting. They were Alliance 6 and included Team 900, the Zebracorns, 8429 Valence, and 5511 Cortex. They won match 4 off a charge station tiebreaker, lost to Alliance 1 in match 11, went down to the lower bracket, then won match 13 and up to finals. Another interesting alliance path was that of Alliance 4. This alliance included 3506, 7890, and 9005 Avian Robotics. They lost their first match, then they worked their way through the losers bracket until match 12, where there was a perfect tie at 107 points. Match was then replayed, and Alliance 4 lost by 1 point. Finals match number 1 was a score of 101 to 76, with Alliance number 1 winning. The second finals match was 104 to 49. Alliance 1 predictably ended up winning the event. Interestingly enough, the finals matches were not the most competitive or hyped matches of the event. That would go to match 12, which was the tie. Moving on to awards, the Rookie All-Star Award went to Team 9000, the Zebra Cakes. The Engineering Inspiration Award went to Team 3506, Yeti Robotics. Lastly, the Impact Award went to Team 4561, the Terabytes. Overall, this event was a fantastic way to start the competition season for North Carolina, and it's looking like a great season over here. Back to you, Steve.
Thanks, Evan. We've got 2 more events to cover here in the Southeast region. Up first is Justin, who's covering the PCH District Albany event. Justin, what can you tell us about the event in Albany?
Well, Steve, it's great to be back. So down in Albany, down in Georgia, the first event of the season for the Peachtree District happened with only 22 teams competing. It wasn't long before 69-19 the Commodores showed up and showed out, strongly declaring themselves as a favorite to win the event. In qualification match 15, they put up 113 points, one short of the event high score. As quals went on, it became obvious that if an alliance was able to outscore you in auto, it would later become very hard to overcome. Moving on to the playoffs, because there were only 22 teams in attendance, we wound up with only 6 alliances, and the top 2 seeds were granted a first round bye. The first big excitement came in match 4, where the 6th seed faced off against the 3rd seed. The 6th seed, led by 8137, the Biting Bulldogs, consisted of 3 robots that were practically nothing but a kit of parts chassis. 2 of the robots appeared to have mechanisms attached, but they weren't functioning. The 3rd seed, led by 4112 Eaglebots, had an Everybot, a Cone Robot, and a Cube Robot. The 6th seed managed to outscore that 3rd seed by pushing cubes into all their hybrid nodes and finishing the match with a double engaged, resulting in a final score of 52-30. Teams keep this in mind going forward. Filling the hybrid nodes quickly can, in fact, be better than filling the other nodes at a slower pace. There was another upset in the lower bracket when the 5th seed, led by 7538, also beat that 3rd seed 70-59. In the end, the finals wound up being a face-off between the top 2 alliances. First seed consisting of 69-19, the Commodores, 1683, the Techno Titans, and 5828, Westover Robotics. The 2nd seed consisted of 4509, Mechanical Bulls, 4188, Columbus Space Program, and 3929, the Wildbots. The 2nd seed fought hard, putting up their 2nd highest score of the playoffs, but they were no match for the Red Alliance. The number 1 seed would put up the event high score in final number 1 of 114 points. Impact award for Albany would also go to the Techno Titans, earning them a double gold clean bling. Engineering Inspiration would go to event finalist 4188, also a double silver clean bling. Rookie All-Star was earned by Built 4 Bib Robotics 9260, and taking home Rookie Inspiration was 9086, the Wildcat Robotics. Next week we have 2 events, one in Dalton, and the first ever district event held in South Carolina will be in Anderson. I'll be in attendance at Anderson with Team 342, so stop by and say hi if you are in attendance. Back to you, Steve.
All right. Thanks, Justin. Rounding out this Southeast region, we have Brian, who's covering the South Florida Regional. Brian, thanks for joining us. Good to see you again. What happened down in South Florida?
I got to admit, it was a fantastic robot weekend here in West Palm Beach, Florida. We had 33 teams from across the country and 2 international teams come to the South Florida Regional to be one of the first to play Charged Up, presented by Haas. This was a smaller event than we were used to, but the energy was absolutely insane. The final practice match on Thursday felt like a true competitive match that ended up with a double-triple balance. And that energy rolled right into qualification matches. It was so stressful. Nerves were high. Yellow cards were flying everywhere. And at that, we did have the usual suspects show up to this event. 179 Children of the Swamp, 180 Spam, 2383 the Ninjaneers, and 5472 the Wild Stallions. All the usuals. However, the one to come in and surprise the entire event was 695 Bison Robotics. They flew through the entirety of qualification matches, winding up as the number 1 seed pretty early on and staying that way, undefeated through all 12 of their qualification matches. Going into Alliance selection, they go through and they take up 179 Children of the Swamp and 3653 the Botcats. Going into this double eliminations bracket, we see how strong this alliance is, putting up 124 points against the 8th seed, 62 points. However, brewing in match 3, we see a strong showing from the 2nd seed alliance of Captain 5472 the Wild Stallions, first pick 180 Spam, and 7652 the Miami Beach Bots. These guys were able to achieve the most swift triple docked and engaged that I've ever seen. Apparently, it's been named the Boudreaux balance after one of the mentors from 180 came up with it earlier throughout their build season. This, we see our number 1 and number 2 alliances battle it through the double eliminations bracket with ease and meet up against each other in match 11, a foreshadowing of what's to come. The first seed wins this match, though, 139 to 127, sending the 2nd seed alliance into the lower bracket to play in match 13, where the 2nd seed wins 134 to 77. we now have two titans of alliances coming face to face again in the finals. Heading out of auto in the first match, a 6-point difference in favor of the first seed alliance, where they quickly further their lead throughout Teleop. This time, it's the first seed that has been practicing that same exact triple balance strategy that goes through, and we have an ending of our finals matches being a double triple balance. However, this match does go in favor for the first seed alliance, 144 to 122. Then we head into the second finals match that shows the same exact story. A strong lead from the number one seed alliance, coming 42 points to 33 out of auto, furthering that gap even more so throughout of Teleop, and once again a double triple balance to end off the event, 154 to 125. Heading into our award ceremonies, I've got to give a big congratulations to Team 2383, the Ninjineers, for their Engineering Inspiration win, and the Dirty Mechanics for their Impact Award win. Keep calm and wrench on, guys, and congratulations.
Thanks, Brian. That wraps up our SEweet region. Up next, we're heading to the Force of the North in Canada, to the Canadian Pacific Regional, where Jeff is going to bring us the action. Jeff, thanks for joining us here on FRC Recap. How'd the Canadian Pacific Regional go up there?
Thanks, Steve. Late last week, Victoria, British Columbia hosted the Canadian Pacific Regional. Before I dive too deep into the event, I wanted to give a quick shout out to 1622 Team Spider. An unfortunate series of events led to their robot getting lost in shipping, and flight cancellations led to only 2 students being able to make the event. With the help of several other teams donating parts and manpower, 1622 was able to get a fully functioning robot and participate in the qualification rounds, a great showcase of gracious professionalism and the spirit of FRC. With that, teams from 4 countries, Canada, the United States, Australia, and Taiwan, braved the 70 qualification matches with an impressive showing. The top 5 seeds all ended with average ranking scores above 2.0. However, when the dust settled, it was Team 4613 Barker Redbacks from Hornsby, New South Wales, Australia that would take the number 1 spot. They would go on to select Team 359 Hawaiian Kids from Waialua, Hawaii, and round out their alliance with Team 244 Robodogs 3D, visiting from the 1st and Michigan District. They would go on to face the number 2 alliance of 4253 Raid Zero from Taipei, Taiwan, 9180 GHS Robotics Ursa Major, a rookie from Surrey, British Columbia, and 8338 Boucherie Bears Robotics from West Kelowna, British Columbia. Despite the number 2 alliance's impressive showing in the lower bracket and their consistent triple balance, the number 1 alliance would go on to take the finals in just 2 matches, with scores of 175 to 64 and 134 to 101. Congratulations to the number 1 alliance. Also, shout out to Team 9079 Mechanic Storm from Taipei, Taiwan on their Rookie All-Star win. A huge congratulations to Team 1868 Space Cookies from Mountain View, California on their first Impact Award win. And the Engineering Inspiration Award winner was none other than 1622 Team Spider. There's been a lot of growth in Western Canada over the past few seasons, and I'm really excited to see where the region goes.
Thanks, Jeff. Sticking with the Force of the North, we've got 2 events left, and our correspondent Emma has the recaps for the Ontario District Georgian event, and staying in the Ontario District with the Newmarket Complex event. Welcome, Emma. How things go up in Canada there with your events?
Thanks, Steve. The Ontario District is back, and I'm so happy for competition season. I've been waiting for this since last year. The stakes were high for the Georgian District event. With only 1 rookie team, this was an experienced event made up of mostly veteran teams. While qualification started a little slower than the Newmarket event, there were so many amazing teams to watch. A couple of the teams I was most looking forward to seeing include 1114 Symbotics, 1241 Theory 6, 1325 Inverse Paradox, and so many more. The teams at Georgian started off strong, with both alliances triple docking and engaging in qualification match 3. Now, I tried to do some math, so I'm sorry if this is wrong, but bear with me. By my calculations, 12 alliances successfully pulled off a triple engage in qualifications, and 14 out of 30 possible triple balances were successful in playoffs. That's almost 50%. The list of teams that won special awards is decently long, and unfortunately, I don't have enough time to go through all of them. So, without further ado, here's my best attempt at as many shoutouts as possible. Team 3161 Tronic Titans picked up the Impact Award, formerly known as Chairman's. 7659 grabbed Engineering Inspiration. 9098 won Rookie All-Star, and 1325 picked up the Autonomous Award. 4152 earned the Creativity Award. 4039 won Excellence in Engineering. 3543 won Gracious Professionalism. 3739 grabbed Industrial Design, and 1241 won Innovation and Control. Whew, that was a lot. Now, playoffs were intense, with every team giving it their all. The two alliances battling it out in the finals were Alliance 1, captained by 4039 Makeshift Robotics, and included 1114 Symbotics and 7659 HNMCS Robotics. And Alliance 3, made up of 1325 Inverse Paradox, 3161 Tronic Titans, and 8731 Wildwire. While both teams gave it their all, battling for that gold medal. So much that the finals 2 was tied up until endgame. Congratulations to 4039, 1114, and 7659 for claiming the blue banners at the Georgian District event. To move on to the first ever Newmarket event. So many teams were vying to be the first ever Newmarket winners, and although I was really excited for this event, I didn't know what to expect since it's a week 1 and not many of the robots have been released yet. However, if we take it back to the fun premiere night for a second, only 3 Canadian teams submitted their videos, and all 3 were at this competition, so I knew exactly what pits I was stopping at first. This competition started hot, where 2056, 2200, and 4476 achieved a high score of 159 in qualification match 3. With only 7 4RP matches, teams were having trouble completing all 4 or 5 links. It's only week 1 though, and I'm optimistic about future Ontario events. With so many amazing teams at this event, I don't have nearly enough time to go through every cool thing I saw, but I'm going to try my best and run through some of the most notable teams. 610 Crescent Coyotes, with the most unique robot I've seen this season, took home the Innovation and Control Award. 9113 Bulldog Robotics picked up the Rookie All-Star Award, while 1305 Ice Cubed won the Engineering Inspiration Award. 7558 Alt F4 won the Creativity Award, 5834 won the Team Spirit Award, and 9127 took home Rookie Inspiration. Congratulations to all the award winners. Now, the double elimination playoff bracket was new this year, but the added complexity of a new playoff format didn't slow these teams down. Tensions were high and playoff scores were even higher. In round 4 of the upper bracket, Alliance 1, captained by 2056 with 2200 and 4951, got a red card for a G206 violation against Alliance 2, made up of 1305, 7558, and 6514, where Ice Cubed was tipped. This sent Alliance 1 down to the lower bracket, but they were not deterred and went head-to-head with Alliance 2 again during the finals. Taking home blue banners this event is 2056 OP Robotics, 2200 Robotics, and 4951 CDS Cyclones. And the finalists are Alliance 2, captained by 1305 Ice Cubed, 7558 Alt F4, and 6514 Sutton Robotics League.
Thank you, Emma. We're going to travel now across the world to Danielle, where she's going to fill us in on what took place in Israel at the ISR District events number 1 and number 2. Welcome, Danielle. Tell us how things took place at ISR number 1 and number 2.
Thank you, Steve. ISR 1 kicked off the official Charged Up competition season, and I think it set the bar high. The event featured 25 Israeli teams, including 1577, 1690, 2630, and 5990. Many have expected Team 1690 Orbit to take the top spot, but it was Team 1577 Steampunk with their perfect 12 wins record and a 3.16 ranking score that guaranteed them the number 1 seed. They would pick 1690 to join their alliance and completed it with Team 1576 Voltrix. Now, if that alliance sounds familiar to you, it is because those 3 teams won together the ISR 3 event last year. Alliance 1 will stay in the upper bracket all the way to the finals. On the lower bracket, match 13 will feature Alliance 5, which was sent there by Alliance 4 in their first match, and Alliance 3, which was sent there by Alliance 1. Alliance 3, consisting of teams 2630 Thunderbolts, 5990 Trigon, and 1943 Neat Team, will take the win and will face Alliance 1 once again in the finals. Finals 1 had the highest score of the event, as Alliance 1 took the win 151-57. In Finals 2, Alliance 3 would improve their game, but unfortunately it was not enough, and Alliance 1 won 145-70. Congratulations to the winners and to Team 2096 RoboActive for taking the very first Impact Award, and to Team 6168 Al-Zarawi for taking home Engineering Inspiration. Moving straight into ISR 2, this event had 29 Israeli teams, including 33-16, 33-39, 59-87, and 70-39. Qual 7 received a lot of attention when the Blue Alliance received 272 points by penalties alone, after severe pinning violations from a Red Alliance team. There was also a yellow card awarded in this match for ruining the field's carpet. The rankings were neck and neck down to the wire as Team 33-39 Bumblebee took the first spot after winning the last qualification match of the event with a record of 9-3 and a 2.33 ranking score. Many thought Bumblebee would pick 5987 Galaxia to join their alliance after both teams won the ISR2 event together last year. However, 3339 picked Team 7039 EXO and later Team 7112 Evergreen to join their alliance. Alliance 1 stayed in the upper bracket for the entire playoffs. On the lower bracket, Match 13 featured Alliance 3 and Alliance 4, who were both sent to the lower bracket by Alliance 1. At the end, it was Alliance 3, consisting of teams 2231 Onyxtronics, 7845 8-Beat, and 5982 Metal Boost, that took the win and advanced to the finals. Finals 1 was extremely close all the way till the endgame, where all 6 robots were leveled on the charge station. Alliance 1 took the win by only 2 points, 112-110. In Finals 2, Alliance 1 had a clear advantage. In the endgame, it looked as if we would have another beautiful double-triple charge station balance. However, with only 3 seconds left on the clock, 3339 would fall off the charge station. A quick response from 7112 would level the charge station again right on the buzzer. So dramatic. Still, Alliance 1 took home the win, 108-88 points. Congratulations to the winners, and especially for teams 7039 and 7112 for getting their very first event wins. This is always exciting. Congratulations also for teams 3316 Debug for winning the Impact Award and team 5635 Demacia for winning the Engineering Inspiration Award. This was our week right here in Israel. We will come back to events on week 3. Until then, back to you, Steve.
Thanks, Danielle. Okay, rounding out our international region, flying back over the pond to Mexico and the Regional Monterrey, where Lino's bringing us our final recap for the international region for week 1. Lino, thanks for joining us. How did things shake out over at the Regional Monterrey?
Kicking off the robotics season in Mexico, we have the Monterrey Regional, or as we say in Mexico, Regional de Monterrey, with big Mexican powerhouses like 4635 Prepatech Botbusters, 3478 Prepatech Lambot, 4403 Prepatech Rolled, and 7102 Prepatech Daedalus, all competing in one same venue. And let me tell you something, this is probably the loudest venue you'll ever be at. While 4635 showed a dominant performance to secure rank 1, the battle for the number 2 seed was a fierce one, with 4010 Prepatech Nautilus being the fastest robot in the event by scoring cubes on the bottom row of the grid. 7102 also had an efficient intake to cycle the cubes and cones. And finally, 3478 had an amazing robot, but had to cut a part of it to pass the height inspection. Due to that, they took a while to get back in rhythm with their fast cycle times. At the end of the day, the ranks were 4635 on rank 1, 3478 rank 2, 7102 rank 3, and 4010 as a rank 4. At the end of qualifications, 4635, 3478, and 6702 formed up the number 1 alliance, who swiftly traveled to the finals by the upper bracket. Meanwhile, on the lower bracket, the number 2 alliance from 7102, 4010, and 6170 had the number 2 alliance of 4403, 6647, and 3158 in a match that the whole venue was watching, as the number 4 alliance pulled the upset. The final matches, the alliance captain 4635 surprised the crowd with a cone and cube auto into the grid, which gave them the lead start of the match, and they were able to maintain it by winning the finals 2-0. Congratulations to 4635 Prep Attack Budbusters, 3478 Prep Attack Lambot, and 6702 Prep Attack Stingbots for winning this year's Regional de Monterrey. Also, a big shout out to 9213 Tequani for the Rookie All-Star Award, who actually also took a wild card home. 3794 Tech Millennial Winty Regional took the Engineering Inspiration, and to 3478 Prep Tech Lambot for winning the Impact Award with a clean win and the second triple blue banner run in the history of Mexico.
All right, thanks, Lino. Before we get into our recaps for our InFiMidation region, let's bring on producer Tyler to talk about our sponsor, Kettering University.
Hey, thanks a lot, Steve. Yeah, big shout out to Kettering University for being our sponsor of FRC Recap. Kettering University is looking forward to students who want to continue learning and innovating in a hands-on, real-world experience format. Kettering University would love to meet you at events. They are going to be all over the place in both FRC and FTC events. Here's some of the places they're going to be, by the way. 23 district events and the state championship in Michigan. Indiana, DCMP and district event. They're going to be at one of the regionals in Illinois, 2 qualifying events and 2 regionals in California, 2 FTC and 1 FTC state championship, and 2 district events in South Carolina, 2 regional events in Ohio, Florida, Texas, North Carolina, and even, wait for it, the Archimedes field sponsor at the First World Championship in Houston. So go to Kettering.edu, click on the first tab, and find out where you can meet someone from Kettering.
All right, thanks, Tyler. Speaking of Kettering University, I was able to stop by there for a while on Friday before the storm rolled in and say hi to a couple of our very own fun correspondents, both of which are coming up right now, which leads us to our next region, InFiMidation, or First in Michigan. First up, we have Nick Jr., who was out at Kettering University event number 1, and he's bringing us a recap of that event, as well as the Film District Milford event as well. Nick, welcome back to another year. It's good to see you, my friend. How things go at Kettering University number 1?
Thanks, Steve. Heading up north, we head to the first of 2 district events here at Kettering University. Coming into this event, there were 4 teams that stuck out as favorites, being Team 33, the Killer Bees, 70 More Martians, 1506 Metal Muscle, and 5460 Strike Zone. And most people thought that there would be a pair-up between 5460 and 33, but as we can see in this recap, that did not happen. After the match schedule needing to be rerun Friday morning right before opening ceremonies and having to evacuate the venue at 4 o'clock on Friday for the rest of the evening till the next morning due to a forecasted 12 inches of snow arriving in southeast Michigan Friday night, it would indeed be Team 1506 Metal Muscle who would take the top seed with a record of 11-1. Followed by a 3-way tie for second, decided by average match score between 5460 in second, 70 in third, and 33 in fourth. 1506 would go on to select the most consistent and highest performing robot at the event, 5460 Strike Zone, and 8728 the Argonauts out of Troy to round out their alliance. 70 would move to the 2 seed and select 33, but 33 would decline, and 70 would then select 3668 the Trobots and 5282 Symmetrical Chaos. 33, declining to start their own alliance, would select 5660 Symmetrical Chaos and 894 Power Chargers. The 4th seed would be captained by Team 4130, the Blue Devils from Richmond, and they would select Team 245, the Atombots, and Rookie 9207, the Millington Cardinals. The 1 seed would end up winning the winner's bracket up top, but not before a close match with the 3 seed in the winner's bracket finals, by marginally beating the 3 seed by 11 points, and only a 1-point difference after penalties. The 3 seed, led by 33 and 5660, did beat the 2 seed in that match prior with the 1 seed, and would eventually go down to the loser's bracket after they lost to the 1 seed in the winner's finals and have a rematch with the 2nd seed. The second seed would prevail in the rematch as the third robot of the third seed fell off the charging station, and that match would then have resulted in a tie if they had not done that, and there would be another match that would need to be played. The 1 seed would go on to beat the 2 seed in 2 matches with a score of 136 to 111 and 140 to 112. The Impact Award was taken home by Team 245, the Atombots out of Rochester, and Engineering Inspiration by 5436 Cybercast from Stony Creek. And finally, the Rookie All-Star Award was won by Team 9207, the Millington Cardinals. Moving on to my next event that I'm going to be covering, moving down south a bit, we head to Milford, to the Milford District, and what was one of the most competitive districts that I believe we're going to see in Michigan this year. Coming into this event, there were 5, and yes, I said 5 teams that were on FIM's line at the Michigan State Championship last year, including our reigning state champions 2017 Rush out of Clarkston. If you're not familiar with what FIMstein is, it's essentially the tournament after the respective division winners have won, and when they play each other to crown the ultimate Michigan State champion. Other notables coming in, obviously 35-38 mentioned as well. That was on FIMstein last year. The RoboJackets from Auburn Hills, arguably the most consistent winning team in Michigan, and 67 the hot team. Similar to my first recap of Kettering 1 district event, Milford was also delayed at 5 p.m. on Friday and was brought back in the next morning. And after all the qualification matches were played, it would be Team 35-38, the RoboJackets, who would be the team that would come out on top and rank 1 with a 3.0 average ranking score and a record of 11-1. 35-38 would go on to select none other than 67 the hot team from Milford and rookie 9204 Hidden Treasures. Your 2 seed would end up being Team 43-62 the Gems, and they would go on to select Team 27 Rush out of the 11 rank and 46-80 to round up their alliance. That would leave Team 548 the Ribblestangs to select 503 Frog Force and 66-18 the Warbots. The 4-seed alliance captain was 1025 MP Robotics, who selected 308 the Monsters and 7225 Mechatronic Mustangs. Taking a look at the ultimate double elimination bracket, it would be 35-38 that would win the winners bracket up top, and 43-62, 27, and 46-80 in the second seed would meet them in the winners bracket finals and would be lose that match to go down to the losers bracket. 1025 did lose their second match against the 1 seed, and they would go down to the losers bracket to work their way back, and they would actually beat the second alliance in the losers bracket finals to move to the finals in the ultimate tournament to meet the number 1 seed. The number 1 seed would win the event in 2 matches here with a score of 128 to 110 and 131 to 109. Looking at awards here, Chairman's was taken home by Team 548, or the first Impact Award, my apologies, was taken home by Team 548, the Ribblestangs, and the Engineering Inspiration Award was taken home by Team 67, the Hot Team. Back to you, Steve.
Thanks, Nick. Both of those events looked great. Up next, we have Lily, who's bringing us the action from FIM District Jackson, as well as the FIM District event in Escanaba. Lily, welcome to Fun. How did those events go this weekend?
This weekend was one of the most interesting weekends I've seen in my 10 years of FIRST Robotics, where 3 out of our 5 events in FIRST in Michigan were delayed early on the first day, but to recover the rest of their qualification matches and all of their eliminations on Saturday, Jackson being one of those events. Over the weekend, we saw some great robot play, great defense, many close matches, and clever robot scoring systems. One of my favorite matches in particular was qualification match 31, where we saw the Blue Alliance have a great autonomous start, taking the lead against the Red Alliance. Teleop was very noticeable as all robots seemed to have great systems to manipulate the game pieces. While the Blue Alliance was able to hold their own in Teleop, the Red Alliance had a 3-robot park. However, the match decider was in the autonomous period, where the Blue Alliance was able to secure the 2 points that decided them the match. The new playoff bracket made for an interesting elimination match, as the number 1 alliance lost their first match against the number 8, moving them to the lower bracket. However, after an intense playoff series, the number 1 alliance met the number 8 in the finals, going best 2 out of 3 for the district title. The first finals match was very interesting, as both alliances had 3 links made each by the endgame. However, the number 1 alliance was able to come back with a 3-robot balance on the charge pad, allowing them to win the first finals match. In finals match 2, we saw more great robot play. This match was a close match between the alliances, both in Teleop and autonomous. However, in the endgame, the Blue Alliance could not get their robots engaged despite their best efforts, and Red had 2 robots engaged and balanced on the charge pad. The game decider was 5 penalty points, allowing the number 1 Alliance to win the event by 2 points against the Red. The event winners being the team captain for the number 1 Alliance, Team 302 the Dragons, 48-31 the Twisted Devils, 44-53 the Red Hot Chili Bots, and rookie team number 9210 the Fighting Falcons and their first district event win. Engineering inspiration also went to 43-81 the Twisted Devils. The Rookie All-Star Award went to Team 9312 Nedspark, and the Impact Award was won by Team 1023 the Bedford Express. Escanaba proved to be an exciting way to kick off Week 1 here in First in Michigan, and I can't wait to show you why. Over the weekend, we saw great robot play, amazing defense, and some close matches. One of my favorite matches in particular was in the upper bracket, match number 8, where we saw the number 2 Alliance in the red against the number 6 in the blue. We saw immediate big scoring from both alliances in the teleop period and some penalties. All robots were charged up in competitiveness as they competed to who would move on to the next round. Great defensive action was being played in teleop, and 3 links were quickly formed by the Red Alliance, giving them a significant lead against the blue. In the endgame, we saw both alliances having gotten onto the charge pad successfully. The ending score was 141 for the Red, 85 for the blue, giving us one of the highest scoring matches during Week 1 here in First in Michigan. In the eliminations, we saw great robot play in the new playoff bracket. One of the higher scoring matches was also in this, but as we narrowed down into the end, we saw the number 1 Alliance meet the number 2 in the finals, even after number 1 had been moved down to the lower bracket earlier in the eliminations. Finals match number 1 ended up the first tie of the event, and finals match number 2 was another personal favorite of mine, as we saw how versatile robots can be. In the Auton, we saw top shelf cones being scored by both alliances and 1 robot each being engaged onto the charge pad. Tied 32-32 in the autonomous, it became anyone's game. One of the real game changers, though, came from Team 3175, changing their strategy to play major defense against the number 2 Alliance, preventing them as much as they could in the center area of the field. Each alliance completed 1 link each during teleop. The Blue Alliance went into the endgame with a major lead against the Red, but the Blue Alliance secured the lead by having all 3 of their robots engaged on the charge pad, while Red had them all parked on the charge pad. The Blue Alliance secured their first win after the tie, allowing them to keep the lead in the finals and win the event overall. It goes to show how we may continue to see great defense being played as the season progresses. Congratulations to the event winners, the team captain being 857 Superior RoboWorks, 3175 Night Vision, and 8382 the Pebble Robotics of Kingsford. Engineering inspiration also went to Team 857 Superior RoboWorks. The Rookie All-Star Award was claimed by Team 9249 Copper Mountain Robotics, and the Impact Award was won by Team 3175 Night Vision, our first double banner of the weekend. Now, back to you, Steve.
Thanks, Lily. We've got one last event to cover here for InFiMidation, and that's James, who's recapping the action from the Film District Calvin University event out on the west side of the state. James, how things go out at Calvin University?
The First in Michigan Calvin University event featured several of the perennial FIM contenders who battled it out for the right to be named Calvin University District Champions. Comets, NC Gears, Tech Fikes, Digital Dislocators, Bob Titans, so many teams came out swinging. We saw 2 instances of a 4RP match at this event, both featuring the speedy 3357 machine. After 80 intense qualification matches, 1 team rose to the top, Team 3357 the Comets from Forest Hills, Michigan. Their dominance was unmatched, and despite being broken for 2.5 matches, they were still able to secure the number 1 spot. They even featured the strongest auto of the event, with 2 game pieces plus a 3rd ready to score. They selected the efficient Team 6081, the Digital Dislocators, who you should check out on Fun's YouTube channel for their awesome Behind the Bumpers interview. Team 3767, the Titans, seeded 2, and selected Team 85 Bob. Team 1918 captained the 3 Alliance and selected fellow West Michigan Team 2054, the Tech Vikes. The double elimination rounds proved interesting at Kelvin, as the 6 Alliance actually upsets the 3 seed in round 1. However, the 3 Alliance recovers to make a deep run in the playoffs. The powerful 8 seed falls barely short to the 1 Alliance, however, makes a run all the way to round 4, match 12, only losing to the 3 seed by a last-second cone from 2054. By the time we got to the finals, the 1 Alliance really had things figured out. They scored a combined 299 points through the 2 finals matches and completed their perfect playoff run with some golden hardware, beating the 3-seeded Alliance 150 to 112 and 149 to 75. Congratulations to Team 3357 Comets, Team 6081 Digital Dislocators, and Team 2771 Code Red Robotics, the Stray Dogs, on their Kelvin District win. Team 4377 Boyne City Blaze took home the Engineering Inspiration Award, while Team 7226 Error 404 received the inaugural FIM District Impact Award. Congratulations to all teams for a great event. Now, back to you, Steve.
Thanks, James. Moving on to the Midwest, the North region, and we head to the Finn District, Mishawaka. I knew I was going to mess that up event, even though I'm from Michigan and we have lots of names like that, where Adam has our recap. Adam, how did things go at the Mishawaka event this weekend for you guys?
Thank you, Steve. Welcome to the Finn Mishawaka event, where we saw a weekend of electric competition. This event hosted 30 Indiana teams as well as 3 Michigan teams. Let me be the first to say, some of the designs and strategies teams pulled off week 1 were incredible. We saw heavy hybrid scoring to try and get the sustainability RP, double jointed arms, cone catching off a single human player station, frequent attempts at triple engage points, and a grueling back and forth for the top seeds that changed all throughout quals. Special shout out to one of our finalists, 1024 Kilobytes. They were constantly working the charging station in their favor, as well as nailing the high points, and with a color scheme like that, you never miss when they're about to take a bite out of the opposition. Moving on to our tournament, we saw 3940 Cybertooth pick the 12th seed, 461 Westside Boiler Invasion, and later on 6721 Tinley Trailblazers, the 22nd seed. This alliance managed to chew out all of their opponents, running undefeated until finals. Red Alliance took Finals 1 with an end score of 115 to 87, but our Blue Alliance Team 910 Fully Freeze, joined by 1024 Kilobytes and 1555 Cryofrost, made a strong comeback, taking Finals 2 with a score of 117 to 104. Unfortunately for our Blue Alliance, which I am coolly naming Frostbite, Finals 3 was a nail-biter with a score of 107 to 105 in favor of the Red Alliance. Enough of the Quilden Teeth puns, because now we're on to awards. Congrats to Team 461 Westside Boiler Invasion for Impact Award as well as the Double Banner Weekend. Team 6721 also had a very impressive weekend, taking the Engineering Inspiration Award home alongside their event win. Team 9071 Slicer Tech were our rookie All-Stars, and good luck to them as they navigate their first season. Congrats to all of our teams, and thank you to the Michigan teams who joined us in the corniest district around.
All right, thanks, Adam, and congrats to Team 461 on their first ever event win. That's pretty amazing. So rounding out our North region, we have Samantha with a 2-for-1 special where she's recapping the Lake Superior Regional as well as the Northern Lights Regional. Samantha, good to see you back for another year. How did things go out of the 2 regionals that you covered?
Thanks, Steve. In Duluth, Minnesota this past weekend, the double-decker, 2 competitions in the same arena, took place. The Lake Superior Regional had 60 teams from Minnesota and Wisconsin. Over the span of 90 qualifications, there were 15 triple engages and 1 double-triple, and a high score of 139. Moving into playoffs, Alliance 1 had a smooth ride with consistent scores between 121 and 134, with a beautifully coordinated sub-10-second triple engage every match. Alliance 2 had a slightly rougher ride, losing their first match 64 to 106. 58-26 broke down in match 6, but they were still able to pull off a win. Backup Robot 8836 played in the next 4 matches until 5826 was back up and running for Finals 2. Finals 2 ended with a triple engage for Alliance 1 and Alliance 2 fighting for a triple as well, but not quite making it. Alliance 1 took the win 127 to 108. Congratulations to the winning Alliance captain 1714, More Robotics. Their first pick 6045, Saber Robotics, and second pick 4011, Pi Robotics. Our finalist Alliance captain 2847, Megahertz, first pick 5348, Charger Robotics, the second pick 5826, Avis Automata, and their backup 8836, Wayne Enterprises Inc. Our Impact Award goes to 5653, Iron Mosquitoes, the Engineering Inspiration 1816, The Green Machine. And congratulations to the wild card, our second Alliance captain, Team 2847, the Megahertz. And step on over to the other side of the room, and we've got the Northern Lights Regional, with 59 teams from Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Iowa competing. There were 89 qualification matches with a high score of 141 and no double triple engages. Alliance 1 and Alliance 2 advanced their way to match 11 to face off against each other for the first time. Alliance 2 had a robot die in their community and lost 100 to 134. And after dropping to the lower bracket for match 13, and despite 3926 zooming into the community full speed and flipping completely over, Alliance 2 took the win against 7. So finals were back to Alliance 1 versus 2. Finals were some clean and competitive matches, with Alliance 1 scoring 4 game pieces at auto and filling up the mid and top rows in match 1, and only 1 piece short of that in match 2. Alliance 1 took the win 2-0. Congratulations to the winning Alliance, Captain 5913 Patriotics, their first pick 2052 Nightcrawler, second pick 4624 Rebel Alliance. And congratulations to finalist Alliance, Captain 5232 Talons, first pick 2987 Rogue Robotics, and the second pick 3926 Emperors. Our Impact Award went to 1792 Roundtable Robotics, and Engineering Inspiration went to 4786 Nicolay Fear. Congratulations and good job to all teams who competed this weekend. Back to you, Steve.
Thanks, Samantha. Before we get into our Mouth of the South region, let's go ahead and start our giveaway. Here to tell you a little bit more about that is our producer, Tyler.
Hey, thanks, Steve. We're going to be giving away from our friends at Rev Robotics a $25 gift certificate and Rev sticker pack. So go ahead and go to revrobotics.com. Check out what they have to offer. The keyword is Rev Ion. It's going to be 2 words, Rev Ion. We'll put that in chat right now. So if you're interested in winning, type that in chat. That's your opportunity to win for the $25 Rev gift certificate and Rev sticker pack. We are going to draw for this after the show ends, by the way. So when we do our week 2 previews is when we're going to draw live on stream. So please stick around because we'll be drawing for that and we'll be in about 10 minutes or so. So thanks a lot to Rev for the giveaway. And let's get back to Mouth of the South.
All right. Thanks, Tyler. And sorry, chat, I've already won. So you can't win. Actually, I can't win. So up next, we have the Mouth of the South, and I'm talking about the region, not just Tulsi, but he's here to bring us the action from the Arkansas Regional, as well as the Fit District Dallas event. Tausif, welcome back as well. How things go down south this weekend?
Thanks, Steve. Now heading to Harding University in Searcy, Arkansas, where the Arkansas Regional took place this past weekend. This regional hosted 29 teams from 8 different states. There were 58 qual matches, and out of 49 of those, if I counted correctly, had the winning alliance score at least 80 points, which is insanely consistent at this event. By the end of the event, the number 1 seed would go to 45-22 Team Scream, who would pick 39-37 Breakaway and 60-55 Boss. The playoffs did have some surprisingly few upsets. In round 1, Alliance 5 of 3039 Wildcat Robotics, 5454 Obsidian, and 5006 Phosphus beat Alliance 4 of 4265 Secret City Wildbots, 1939 the Kun Knights, and 7106 MPV Stingerbots in match 2, 87 to 99. In round 2, no upsets happened in the upper bracket, but we did get one upset in the lower bracket. Alliance 8 of 3284 Cam Denton Laser, 9067 The Goonies, and 2393 Robot Kuns beat Alliance 4 in match 5, 102 to 62. In round 3, Alliance 8 struck again, beating Alliance 3 of 7525 Pioneers, 4336 Ramageddon Robotics, and 5002 Dragon Robotics in match 10, 77 to 97. In round 4, let's head back to the upper bracket, where Alliance 1 lost to Alliance 2 of 4766 Team Scream Jr., 16 Bomb Squad, and 6586 Tusken Raiders in match 11, 107 to 108. The importance of Endgame Park. Back to the lower bracket, Alliance 8's streak came to an end where Alliance 5 beat them in match 12, 85 to 87. In round 5, Alliance 1 beat Alliance 5 in match 13, 105 to 89. Now, with the finals being Alliance 2 versus Alliance 1, will Alliance 1 have a comeback? Alas, the explosive power of Alliance 2 was too much, giving them the win 131 to 108 and 106 to 90. Congratulations to Team 4766 Team Scream Jr., 16 Bomb Squad, and 6586 Tusken Raiders for winning the Arkansas Regional. For awards, congratulations to 9067 The Goonies for winning Rookie All-Star. Congratulations to 4265 Secret City Wildbots for winning the Engineering Inspiration Award. And congratulations to 3284 Cam Denton Laser for winning the Impact Award. Now heading roughly 360 miles due southwest, the second First in Texas event went underway, the Dallas District event that took place in the Becky Lowry Freshman Center in Allen, Texas, that hosted 31 teams. Walking into the event, there were one team and one group of teams that teams were afraid of going against. 2005 Robochargers and the Appreciate Trio, 2468 Team Appreciate, 2687 Team Apprentice, and 2689 Team Alpha. The event had 62 qual matches. 4 of those matches had an alliance receiving 4 RP. 3 of those matches had 2468 in them. In qual 46 and in qual 46, qual 49, where 2468 had their twin robot 2687, and which beat 3005 in the same match. 2468 would also see 4 RP in qual 57, which at the end of the match gave them the number 1 rank, pushing 3005 down to number 2. But guess who witnessed 2468 getting the number 1 spot? 3005. 3005 would play the next match, qual 59, with 2689, and they would receive 4 RP, giving and securing number 1 rank to 3005. 3005 would pick 2468 as well as 5682 Equinus Engineering. Now, the playoffs did have some exciting upsets. Starting in round 1, Alliance 5 of 4641 Talon Inc., 1296 Metal Jacket, and 5417 Eagle Robotics beat Alliance 2 of 4192 Jaguar Robotics, 5572 Rossbots Robotics, and 8874 the Cybergs, 99 to 104. Before we head to the lower bracket, I want to mention that there was no more upsets in the upper bracket, securing number 1 Alliance in the best of 3 finals. Now in the lower bracket, round 2 had no upsets. In round 3, Alliance 4 beat Alliance 3 of 3802 Robopop, 2687 Team Apprentice, and 9156 Trojan Robotics in match 10, 66 to 70. But that wasn't the only upset in round 3. In match 9, Alliance 6 of 2689 Team Alpha, 5431 Titan Robotics, and 8858 Beast from the East beat Alliance 5 111 to 112. This match was extremely close and came down to the wire. The importance of Endgame Park came in clutch again for Alliance 6. In round 4, the upset continued with Alliance 6 beating Alliance 4 45 to 104. Now in Alliance 5, the reign of Alliance 6 ended in match 13 with Alliance 2 of 2582 Pantherbots, 1475 the P-51 Mustangs, and 9088 NASA's Mark and Infinity beating them 117 to 81. Alliance 2 was back, facing against Alliance 1 after losing to them in match 11. Will Alliance 2 have a comeback? Alas, the power of being appreciated robo-charged up Alliance 1, and Alliance 1 beat Alliance 2 146 to 95, and 125 to 126. Congratulations to 3005 Robochargers, 2468 Team Appreciate, and 5682 Equinus Engineering for winning the Dallas event. For awards, congratulations to 9088 NASA's Marks Infinity for winning Rookie All-Star. Congratulations to 2468 for winning Engineering Inspiration Award, and congratulations to 5417 for winning the Impact Award. Now back to you, Steve.
Thanks, Steve. Last but not least, in the South region, we have Riley here to recap the Fit District Waco event. Riley, welcome to FRC Recap. How did things go out at the Waco event this weekend?
Thanks, Steve. Howdy, y'all, and welcome back to week 1 in the South. Waco was a crazy event with many notable teams, and boy, was it fun. With teams like 64 Kryptonite, 1477 Texas Torque, 2881 Lady Cans, 3847 Spectrum, and 6800 Valor, this event was going to be competitive no matter what. However, matches were definitely interesting this weekend. With this being a week 1 event, most of these robots had never been seen before, and we saw some huge differences in design with some super cool features. The matches were also super competitive with a high score of 150 points in Qual 69, 135 if you don't count penalty points. This match was won by 1477 Texas Torque, 8088 Bionic Panthers, and 6672 Fusion Core. Alliance selection took a turn as the second and third ranked teams, 1477 Texas Torque and 6672 Fusion Core, rejected the first Alliance captain, 6377 Howdy Boss, who ended up playing with the fourth ranked team, 6800 Valor, and 9054 the Johnson City Jewels, who are a rookie team at this event. Round 1 of elims took a turn when the 5th Alliance of 624 Kryptonite, 2881 Lady Cans, and 8088 Bionic Panthers beat the 4th Alliance of 3035 Droid Rage, 9128 It-Can Robotics, who are rookies, and 5866 Iron Tigers with a score of 101 to 92. During round 2, the 3rd Alliance beat the 2nd Alliance with a score of 114 and 91, leaving the 2nd, 5th, and 1st Alliance in rounds 3 and 4. During round 4, the 3rd Alliance beat the 1st Alliance with a score of 116 to 110, and the 5th Alliance beat the 2nd Alliance with a score of 116 to 83, causing 2 upsets. That left the 5th and 3rd Alliance in finals. The 5th Alliance won their first match, 143 to 89, lost the second match with a score of 108 to 138, and ended up taking home the gold during the tiebreaker match with a score of 128 to 119, making Waco finals a huge upset. Huge congratulations to 1477 the Westerners for winning the Engineering Inspiration Award, 9128 It-Can Robotics for being both the highest rookie seed and rookie all-star, and to 3847 Spectrum for winning the Impact Award, as well as to all of the other teams who took home awards for Waco. Back to you, Steve.
Thank you, Riley. Our final region of the week, we have the Best of the West. And up first, we have John, who's going to bring us up to date on what went down at the Winemede Port Regional this weekend. John, I heard we had quite an event. What took place out at the Winemede Port Regional?
Well, the Winemede Port Regional featured some world-class matches with world-class competitors. I'm telling you, this competition set some big numbers and showcased some amazing teams. Joining us, you might recognize 973 Greybot, 1678 Citrus Circuits, 4414 High Tide, and 4481 Rembrandts from the Netherlands. Throughout the competition, we saw several high-scoring matches with a qualification high of 164. In the beginning, the ranking leaders were 1678 and 4414, but things drastically changed throughout the day. We saw many upsets, and eventually 3255 the Super Nerds emerged as the second seed with only one loss out of their 11 qualification matches. That being said, Citrus Circuits was the only team to maintain a perfect record of 11-0. Moving in Alliance selection, the number 1 seed, Citrus Circuits, actually picked High Tide, the 9th seed, to form the anticipated Citrus Tide duo. However, 3255 immediately picked the number 11th seed, 973 Greybots, for their first pick. This left the 3rd seed, 6036 Peninsula Robotics, to pick the 4th seed, 4481 Team Rembrandt. In playoff match 1, 2 robots were tipped when Alliance 1 played 8. In short, Alliance 1 violated G206 by tipping over 3647 the Millennium Falcons, and hence was given a yellow card and immediate score of 0 to send them to the lower bracket. But let's cut to the chase, because in finals, things are about to get wild, with Alliance 3 in red, composed of 6036, 4481, and 3859, and Alliance 1 in blue, 1678, 4414, and 696. The first match had everyone on the edge of their seat. The match was tied at 148 apiece, and throughout we saw the best events, best maneuvers, and best strategy. This was at the inconvenience that Citrus Circuits didn't climb at the end, so with this tie we won in Finals 2, where Red won, and in Finals 3, Blue won to even up the winnings. meaning for the first time in a while there'd be overtime 1, and hopefully sending everyone home after a long day at Port Hueneme. But we all thought wrong, because high tide drove into its charging station and jammed it, causing a field fault and requiring the match to terminate for a field reset. Finals match 5, however, was the real deal. Seeming that red might pull through, blue actually ramped up their scoring, and 1678 took the stage of climbing to secure the Blues Alliance's second win. Congratulations to the regional winners 1678 Citrus Circuits, 4414 High Tide, and 696 Circuit Breakers. But a special shout out to the finalists 6036 Palenzo Robotics, 4481 Rembrandts, and 3859 Wolfpack Robotics as well for putting on an amazing final show. Lastly, congratulations to 3008 Team Magma for winning the Regionals Engineering Inspiration Award, and Team 4 Element for winning the Impact Award. Remember, this is only week 1 and all these teams have much to show over the next few weeks.
Thank you, John. We've got 2 events from up in the Pacific Northwest where Andre is breaking down the action for us at the PNW District Glacier Park event, as well as the PNW Clackamas Academy event. Andre, how things go down this weekend up in the PNW?
Up in Washington last weekend, there was Glacier Peak in Snowish, Washington. With 34 teams, there was a competitive game, with top teams from the district attending, like 2930 and 4911. But the jester of all of them, 2910 Jack in the Bot, returning as the Newton Division champions and the captain on the Einstein field. 2910 popped through qualification matches undefeated and ended up in the first seed. The high score in the qualification matches, qualification 65, perfectly shows the speed and effectiveness of 2910's bot as it flies across the field with ease and fills up the grid. Their small and speedy bot allows them to get a triple balance with ease, and their advanced 3-game auto really clowns on all others. Other teams to note in this event, 2930 with their every bot inspired intake, 4131 with their amazing driving as well. In the end, 2910 was the highest ranked team, picking 2930, the Sonic Squirrels, and 1778 chilled out. Alliance 2 was captained by 7627 Bearcat Robotics and picked 4131, the Iron Patriots, and 4512 Otter Chaos. Alliance 1 flew through the double elimination bracket as 2 of their best teams in the district compete alongside each other, showing the power of the Alliance. The team to give the biggest fight, Alliance 2, put all in with their 3 matches against the first seed. 7621 and 4131 pulling off their cycles, and 4512 defending their field. But alas, the first seed speeded through the event, and the host, Sonic Squirrels, as well as 2910 and 1778 pulled the victory. Congrats to those, and 7627, 4131, and 4512 for their excellent finalist spots, as well as 4131 winning Engineering Inspiration, going home with 2 red medals, and 2412 returning for their second impact consecutively at this event. Congrats to 9032 for winning the Rookie All-Star Award and starting the history off strong. Congrats to all teams here, and I look forward to seeing those spots in the future. This week at Clackamas Academy of Industrial Sciences in Oregon City, Oregon, we had a blast of teams all across the district. Looking into the event, we have last year's winners of Clackamas, 4488 and 7034, as well as many great teams from the district like 1540, 3711, 360, and 2521. Throughout the qualification matches, you had many teams jump in and out of first seed. Team 360, 955, who was the first seed throughout most of the event due to their auto line to the grid and double substation, and 3711, who ended up in the top seed by the end of the event. The key players found throughout the matches would be 955, who were able to score quickly due to their auto line, something that a lot of teams lacked in week 1. Another team that was a top scorer was 2521 with their impressive auto, ground intake, and single substation intake. In Alliance selection, the top seed, 3711, the Iron Mustangs, picked Team 955 CV Robotics and Team 5468 Chaos Theory. In their first match, the top seed easily beat the 8th due to 2811, the Stormbots, being dead most of the match, and Team 360, the Revolution, limited to ground pickup. In round 2, Alliance 5 gave a good fight against them, but the first came out victorious. In round 5, the first seed Alliance fell as they were unable to obtain the triple balance and engage to Alliance 2. Among other things, this put Alliance 1 in the lower bracket. In round 5, the first alliance was again beaten against the third seed. A large reason for this was because of 5920's competitive and well-planned defense. This put the second and fourth alliance in the finals. Finals 4, which consisted of 1540, 3218, and 5920, win their first match, while Alliance 2 7034, 2521, and 4621 with their second. In the tiebreaker, 5920 was able to defend 7034 to be determined the entire match, making it so they only score one game piece. This ultimately flew 1540, the Flaming Chickens, 3218, Panther Robotics, and 5920, Vicotics to victory. Congrats to these teams and 4061 for their Engineering Inspiration Award. Also congrats to 6832 for winning the Impact Award. I'm looking forward to seeing these events and many great bots from PNW in the future.
Thanks, Andre. And last but certainly not least, to round out our coverage of the West region, we have Alex, who's breaking down the events of the Utah Regional. Alex, how things go out in Utah this weekend?
Hey guys, this week amongst the beautiful mesas and at the relative foot of the Wasatch Mountains in the Salt Lake area in Utah, 44 teams gathered to compete and see who would be the best of the West, in the Southwest at least, at the Utah Regional. Going into the event, a few favorites stood out. Team 4499, the Highlanders from Colorado, were coming off a rank 2 performance in Popper last year, and they had an excellent showing on Einstein back in 2018, although I assume that a lot of the students have been rotated since then. They were expected to do well, obviously, and Team 2122, the Taters, have historically done excellent in regional competitions and at championships, being one of the best Western teams not from the coast. Personally, I typically root for the Taters at any competition I see them at because, boy, are they nice people. Once it all began, this event seemed to be all surprising performances from unexpected places, with Team 2240 taking the second seed. This would be the highest they've ever placed, I believe. And 4499 taking the first seed. Both of them had consistent auto routines that put them on top of the charging station at the end of auto. It's only week 1, but this already seems crucial to succeed this year. Team 4550, Something's Brewing, taking the third seed with a pretty sweet auto balancing autonomous that gives them that sweet, sweet bonus. In the playoffs, the first seed, 4499, the Highlanders, took their first pick and chose the second seed, 2240, Brute Force. The second alliance was captained by 4550, Something's Brewing, who picked the fourth seed, 2122, the Taters. And Alliance 3 was 5851, the Striking Vikings with Team 192 GRT. During the playoffs in Match 3, Team 6844 had an incredible series of falling off the docking station and riding themselves. It was definitely reminiscent of, what year championship was that? Of championships a couple years ago. With the beach bots. I think that this year we'll see many other instances of tall robot syndrome, especially with the docking station making tipping so easy. The third alliance put up a valiant effort, but were ultimately eliminated in round 5 in a close match against the second seed. Seriously, Team 192 did excellent this year. Real shouts out to them. The finals of this event were stellar, with both alliances putting up triple-digit scores throughout the playoffs. The Blue Alliance took match 1 in part due to some excellent defense, and an unfortunate 2240. Unfortunately, 2240 died with about 45 seconds left in the match, leaving one of the primary scorers unable to do much. In games 2 and 3, the Red Alliance was able to just simply outscore the Blue Alliance, with Team 5933 playing defense and seeming to have a couple reliability issues. Both times they died midway through the match. Sometimes they regained control of the robot, and in both cases, though, it seemed to really hinder the performance of the Alliance. They died in both Finals 2 and 3, allowing the Red Alliance to just keep scoring undefended and get those valuable endgame points. The first seed alliance of Team 4499, Team 2240, and 9138 took the blue banner and won the event. Congrats to 2240 for the first ever event win, and congrats to all the teams that participated. Now, Steve, back to you.
Special thanks to all those who clicked that follow button or stepped up to help fund with a Twitch subscription or donation. Your support it really helps us continue to make great content for you. So don't forget, you can watch FRC Recap archived at youtube.com/firstupdatesnow. For Tyler Olds, I'm your host, Steve Londo. Thanks for watching FRC Recap on First Updates Now.
This video on First Updates Now is made possible by viewers like you and also the following sponsors. Kettering University is looking for talented robotics students who want to continue learning and innovating in a hands-on, real-world experience format. Kettering University representatives will be at dozens of FIRST events this season, including the championship. Go to Kettering.edu/first to see which events you can meet a Kettering University representative. FRC competition season is here. Submit your favorite moments to FRC Clips of the Week by each Sunday at discord.gg/firstupdatesnow. Also, the FRC Top 25 poll is open Sunday 5 p.m. Eastern to Monday 5 p.m. Eastern, where you can vote for your top 25 teams of the week at firstupdatesnow.com/FRC Top 25. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date on our new videos. Keep the conversation going and provide your input to our content. Watch our live shows at twitch.tv/firstupdatesnow. Join our Discord at discord.gg/firstupdatesnow and check out Fun FTC on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and First Updates Now on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter.